Hey folks, and welcome to Greg's Golf Shack. Today I want to talk to you about how to improve our ball striking, hitting the middle of the face by improving our lower body release. Now before we get into it, I'd love it if you subscribe to the channel. I'm a certified instructor with the Canadian Golf Teachers Federation. I love making these tips for you, so please like the video if it helps you out. Drop a comment, let me know if it worked for you, or share your perspectives. Now, I was out on the course the other day and it was one of those rounds where just nothing seemed to work. I was just really struggling finding the center of the club face and had all kinds of mishits. Luckily, my putting helped me save a reasonable score. But I found even that evening, I was a little sore in the upper back and my shoulders and things because I was doing everything out on the course to try and manipulate my swing to try and have better contact. And what I didn't realize until I came in the studio to kind of experiment to see what was happening, that it had very little to do with the upper body part of my swing, and it had everything to do with my lower body. Now, how do we know if we're not hitting it in the middle of the face? Well, a lot of instructors will suggest you can put some foot powder on there, that white spray that'll kind of show you where the impact zone is, or there's specific club stickers you can buy and stick them on there. I have another trick I like to use. I like to take masking tape. This is just a light stick painter's green masking tape, and I like to just put it right on the club there. Don't push too hard, just kind of set it on there, fold it around the edges, and that should show you the impact zone of the ball. Let's see what happens if I hit one off the toe. So there we go. I had a strike there, and you can see the impression of the ball on that tape. And the great thing is, I can just sort of peel that back and refresh it. Stick it on lightly, and I can use it again and hopefully get a center strike. Much better. You can see, nice strike right in the middle there. So that's a neat tip. You can get masking tape at any department store, any office supply store. Heck, I can even get it down at my corner store. Now we see some drills out there for better ball striking, such as putting tees in the ground that act as gates for the club head to pass through. Now I'm not overly keen on that drill if we're really struggling, because what happens is we end up manipulating our swing, either reaching for the ball or pulling in to be able to get the club through those gates, and we're not really addressing the cause, the issue that might be causing that. So we end up still having a fault in our swing, and we're adding another element in there that can really start to complicate things. So we want to find the root of the problem, and today we're going to talk about the lower body. So I kind of see three different types of a misuse of our lower body that can cause us to have that irregular ball striking. And the first one is one of the most common ones, is early extension. And I have a video about early extension, how to kind of prevent it. I'll put a card up in the corner here and I'll link it down below in the description. And what happens is in our swing, we end up kind of pushing off our trail foot. We push that knee forward, our heel comes up, and we really lunge our hip and our body towards the ball. And that just causes a different position of our club at impact than we were at setup. Also, if we're not really stable in our setup and we don't have a lot of good separation in our rotation, we can get very kneesy, and our knees will turn back and through. As soon as our knees kind of buckle out like that in our impact position, that again changes the position of our club at impact. And on the other end of the issue, when people are trying to squat down in their downswing and push their lead butt cheek back, we can see if you're not having a lot of separation in our swing, we can end up turning our whole shoulders and upper body with our hips and our knees. And that again causes a little bit of a path issue, making it difficult to strike the ball in the center of the face. So what do we do? How can we better release our lower body without forcing it? Now this drill, it's a very easy drill. It doesn't take a whole lot of time, but it's meant to try and get the feeling of a good rotation and release of our lower body in the swing. So we're not going to do a golf swing to start. I ask you just to kind of stand with your feet fairly close together, just inside your shoulders, just like this. All we're going to do is drag our trail leg towards the target and turn it so our knee points towards the target like that. Our knees are kind of touching here. So just a very simple like that. You don't have to be in your golf posture for this or anything, just that. You'll find we drag the foot sideways and our toe kind of comes up as we point the knee. Now, I'm not saying this is exactly what's going to happen in the golf swing, but we're starting to get that feel. So it's just this. That's all we want. And then you can take a bit of a wider stance, just outside of the shoulders a little bit, maybe closer to your main golf swing stance, and do the same thing. And you'll notice what we're doing is we're getting that weight shifting to the lead side. That's an important part of the golf swing, and I have another video about getting to the lead side. I'll include a card and a link in the video. You should check that out as well. So all I'm doing is kind of shifting, sliding the weight over to my lead foot, and again, that knee is just pointing towards the target. I can even get a wider stance if I want, just to get the feeling. And again, you'll notice how much I'm moving horizontally. Now, we don't want to have a whole lot of horizontal movement in our golf swing, but we can really feel the action of that knee kind of turning and touching that knee. Now, you'll notice if I turn sideways, I'm not really turning my knees like this. My body is staying pretty much in its same position, and I'm just dragging the knee so it's pointing towards the target. Not out, it's just coming across. Now, the cool thing is our hips were already releasing just as part of that process. You see, even with this small one, as I do this, my hips are opening up, turning a little bit closer towards the target. So now what we can do is incorporate a little bit of a swinging motion. I like to just take a club just like this. We're not doing a full golf swing yet, just back and through like that. And you can kind of keep going back like that. We're kind of dragging up onto that toe. Maybe take a wider stance, try the same thing. And you'll notice that we're starting to really kind of release these hips. Look, I'm wide open to the target now, which is where we'd like to be as we're getting into our follow through. Now, if you find you have a little bit of a knee pressure there, because this knee is not turning towards the target, but if you have some knee issues and it's feeling a little bit, tight or a little bit painful, one thing we can do is open up our lead foot a little bit. Just open it up on an angle a little bit, and then you'll find it's much easier to release into that position. And after we do that a few times, we can do it by swinging a club. And we'll find that we get kind of into that position. And what we have to try to understand is we need a stable base with our lower body. We don't want a fixed base. And for a lot of us that really want to hit the ball hard, we hear some of these tips like grab the ground with your feet and everything. Now, most of us are not swinging out of our shoes and trying to get 130 mile an hour swing speed. So what we like to do is have it nice and stable. And you'll find if you start kind of really digging into the ground and letting your upper body really do a lot of the work, you'll find it's much more difficult to do that nice smooth move because we've just shifted weight in weird patterns there. So the idea is have a relaxed turn. We don't want to have a backswing that really creates a lot of tension and a lot of weight shifting, balance moves, all this kind of stuff. We just want a relaxed backswing that allows everything to kind of stay in its place. All we're doing is turning, and we can get into that position where that foot and that knee are dragging towards the target, like that. So we'll find if we have a little bit less effort put into our backswing and in our downswing and impact follow through, we're releasing that hip, we're releasing that lower body, we're pointing our trail knee at the target, we should have a better opportunity of hitting the center of the face and getting into a better position at impact that represents our setup position. So let's give it a try. That felt good, felt pure in the middle of the face. I hope that helps you. Please like and subscribe. We'll see you next time on Greg's Golf Shack.